Now I know you read the title and thought one of three things. Number one,
you're a phony. Hey, this guy's a great big phone.
But you wanted confirmation of potential clickbait. Cool. Or number two, you're intrigued but skeptical. Or number three, you know it's me, you know I don't lie, and you're just waiting for me to elaborate on this point. If you pick number three, you're right. But number one and two, you're welcome.
You know what to do. Smash the ting,
Firstly,
yeah?
apologies for the setup. Currently kind of mid refurb of the office, and yeah, it's a bomb site right now. So yes, I have made gains, sitting at around 92 at the moment, and for the past like 5-6 weeks I've been sitting around kind of 89 to 91, fluctuating between that. So I have made gains, but the true gains haven't been in terms of like muscular gain aesthetics. It's been in functionality. You see what I did? Is it?
Do you like the camera gear? Nice. What quarantine has actually allowed me to do is slow down in all aspects of life, especially in fitness. If you guys remember from before when I was looking at powerlifting and all that kind of jazz, I kept getting injury after injury after injury. Hands are hella dry. Let me cream them real quick. Holy. Trusting people with dry hands, because in this time right now, it shows that they're washing their hands, and washing their hands is more important than moisturized hands. So you can trust me. So to reiterate just before, I had flipping knee pain, hamstring tendinopathy in the insertion of where the glutes and the hamstrings meet. Bending down to pick up stuff was a myth. Unless I had warmed up my knees by doing 10 minutes on the bike, stretches and shit, back pain, shoulder pain. Now if this is you as well, comment down below, because I know it's not just me.
And I think the main reason is the gym is a lift and leave kind of setting. When you go in, you want to do your workout, you want to get out.
And because you're in a gym, you want to do gym stuff. It's only after taking a step back and then looking at some of the stuff which I thought was like, how do I put this politely? Sneaky. What am I talking about? Mobility. Mobility, mobility, mobility. And also being creative with bands and kettlebells. Made me realize that I'm not actually as strong as I thought I was. Maybe in like 1 or 2 dimensions. But more specifically, animal flow and primal movements, which means I can now do stuff like this without feeling like I'm gonna tilt back, and I can do this for a very long time. I can sit here quite comfortably. Before I couldn't. All my joints feel great. I don't feel like my knees are gonna burst just because I'm sitting at my desk. And I'm actually seeing some growth in some of my weaker areas.
So right now I'm going to show you 2 general flows, 1 specific flow. First one is just before your workout, and the second one is after your workout, and the third one is a bit more specific to very specific movements that I'm working on at the moment. Should we go?
Yo, what's going on, peeps? Liquor voice over here. So yeah, just thought I'd talk through some of these exercises, because this one that I found was really good for reactivating the arches, because I've got flat feet and it causes a lot of problems with my knee. So if you have knee problems, then try this one out. Which then followed on to this one. Now, this one I actually got from the idea from when I did parkour with the Stora team. If you're doing parkour, then your knees have to be bulletproof, and this was one of the warm-ups without the ball. So I added the ball to kind of keep the heel arch activation whilst doing this exercise, but also moving forward and then, you know, pushing yourself up also stretches the hip flexors a little bit if you've been sitting at a desk all day, which is most of us at the moment. And snap. And this one, loaded beast, which is this position here, into the spine wave. Loaded beast itself is such a sick movement. And then the one thing that I'll say for the spine wave is making sure it is a wave, so you're unloading each vertebrae at a time. But yeah, loaded beast has been a game changer. As soon as I do these 2 movements, the spine wave and this rotational one, like all my lower back stiffness, my knee stiffness, everything just kind of evaporates, and I can't, it's good. So just try it. It is good. Like I feel so great after it. It's just a flipping great exercise. But anyway, moving on to the next exercise, which was the shin box from side to side. Again, this is one that I've always had tight hips, tight hip flexors, just tight adductors in general, and this one, oh, the leaning over, the little twist at the end, if you've got tight glutes, then you need this in your life, because boy. Then moving on to the 3-point thread needle. Now I'd seen a lot of people doing this exercise with just going underneath. I added the other 2 in as well, but I also added the rollover because that's what they do in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when they're doing their warm-ups, but they actually do the full roll. I was like, there's not really much space in the kitchen. I don't want to kick a glass over. I don't want to like put dents in the washing machine because my feet be heavy like that. So I just added a little roll, and is generally a great exercise to finish this flow for full upper body mobility. So yeah, check this one out. But now we are moving on to the post-workout flow. So this one is more of a decompression flow. So the other one was more prep. This is more kind of relaxation, which is why we're doing the same spine wave, but from a child pose instead, which is more of a yoga pose. And it's, you know, it's more about just stretching, decompressing, and keeping the joints and muscles supple as opposed to activating them. You know what I'm saying? And then moving on to the hip flexor hamstring. Key one with this is, I see people doing this a lot, and the main thing is to tilt your pelvis underneath you a little bit, because it's really easy to kind of like hyperextend your back, and that takes, it's not doing anything. It's the complete opposite of what you're trying to do. So really push your hips underneath and you will feel the hip flexor stretch, especially in the back leg. And then this one, the Sphinx pose, I get tight traps a lot, so this one really helps with that. You'll feel it. As soon as you get into the pose, you turn your head to one side, you'll be like, oh Jesus. So yeah, try that one out. And this one, a Cossack squat. Oh, Cossack, whatever it's called. That squat is a very tough squat to do. You have to have very good mobility for it, and it exposed a problem that I have, which is very tight adductors. So this one right here kind of simplifies it and turns it into more of a mobility drill to kind of, you know, stretch the adductors, but also the inner hamstrings and also the hip flexor when you lean forward. And yeah, this one I couldn't be bothered to get a chair, because I was gonna do like the one where you put your foot against it. I was like, you know what, not many people have time to go and get a chair. How can you do this differently? So yeah, that was that. My aim is to be lying fully back, but we're getting there slowly. And then this one is a killer. This one's a silent killer. I hated this the first time I did it, and then after I finished it, I was like, yeah, I feel really good though. But it's just one of those ones that you have to really get used to and learn the proper form. And then to stretch the lats, typical dead hang. This just feels great anytime I do it.
But now we move on to the final flow of the day, and this one is for handstand prep.
So basically all of these prep flows are because I'm trying to nail the tuck handstand and the full handstand, and also into a press handstand. And there's a lot of tightness in my upper body, my shoulders, my traps, and just really trying to activate the right things and loosen up the right things to be able to have the mobility to do the exercise properly, actually execute the handstand properly, as opposed to compensating with just brute strength is what I'm really trying to avoid. So even like this one here, there's so much improvement. Like my arms should be like above my head and my chest should be pushed all the way through, so there's a lot of tightness in the front delts. And then dead bugs, I put them in there because of the shape that you need to hold during a handstand. It's very easy to kind of like hyperextend your back, but you have to keep kind of like a C shape, so more abdominal control. So I put those in there because I've been slacking in that respect. And then threw in these dead hangs again. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.